Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show. What's up, everybody? Hey, thanks for tuning in to another episode of RAERAEs Review, where I will be discussing Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 5, Reunion Part 3. This was good. I really enjoyed it. Britani had a lot to say. Britani was there for most of the Part 3, and then she complained because she had to leave. Girl, you don't have what they call them, not a peach, not a diamond, not an orange, not an apple. What they got? A snowflake? I don't know what these heifers got, child, but listen. You are a friend of, and you probably won't be back. Now, your man Jared, I'm gonna get right to it. Jared's a piece of work. I believe, yeah, he wanted camera time because he wants to be popular like his family members. He wants some time. He plays on Britney's top, and Britney allows it because she's struggling in her religion, and a lot of men who are manipulative like to choose women who are struggling in some type of way. It denotes to them that there's weakness with them, and especially if they are back and forth with their religion, of all things, the most important thing to someone to have, and then you're struggling with it, that means there's definitely some work to do. And a lot of times men who are manipulators and con artists and fraudulent people, just people who are fraudulent as a whole, they like to choose people who show their weakness and who are prone to forgiveness. Those who are Bible thumpers, those, they prey upon those who are, in the church or whatever religious building is called, or whatever it's called, because everybody does not do church. They do different names of, mosque or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I think he's a manipulating SOB, and for him to DM different women on the cast, whether it's good or bad, he's looking for his moment. And when Justin invited him to the party where Britney was dating somebody else, he couldn't wait to get there because he knew there would be camera time, and he knew he would possibly make a moment that possibly he would be a fixture on the show. Britney, girl, if you're listening, watching, listening, if anybody knows Britney, girl, leave that man alone. Talk to somebody else who respects you more, someone who is more in line with your core values, someone who can help you keep it together. That's what a partnership is all about. Not someone who's playing on your top and condoning your strongest convictions. You know what I'm saying? You don't need that in your life. And what he said to Bronwyn was just ridiculous. No man should, DM a woman or send a message to a married woman, no doubt. I hope Todd rips him a new one, literally and figuratively. Ugh. She said she broke up with him, y'all. Britney, girl. Okay. Playing games, and he grown as all get out. Anyway, so they talk about Britney's estrangement from her kids, and she tried to make it seem like Bronwyn played a part in that. apparently somewhere along the history of Britani and her estranged children. Well, first of all, let's start off why she's estranged. She put a man before her children, and I believe it was the second husband, and or maybe it was somebody else, child, who knows. But the point is, she said she put a man before her children. Her children were not appreciative, which that's a deadbeat mother as far as I'm concerned. And she, came around, and in the midst of that, or somewhere along the line, this is what Britani is saying, that Bronwyn had a hand in her kids shunning her. So apparently the story goes, Bronwyn they all know each other, child. They all latter days and everything. So, folks know folks. So Bronwyn knows some people who knows her daughters. And her daughters were sent a message from Bronwyn that their mother is a piece of work, just adding fuel to the fire. And that caused an extra 90 days for Britani's kids to be estranged from Britani. Now, that's Britani's story. And Bronwyn was like, that is absurd. No one believed that but Britani. And Britani did not say verbatim or even allude to her kids saying that's what happened. That's what Britani thinks. Child, but now kids gonna talk, kids gonna hear folks discuss things. No one believes Bronwyn sent a message to her small children, knowing that Bronwyn has had a not so great, I wouldn't say upbringing, but a not so great relationship, considering her daughter went through things. She's not gonna put other kids through things with their mother. It's so preposterous, child. Go on somewhere. And Britani's lying on Bronwyn, and that's not on that. Then we talk about the bar mitzvah drama. Heather says that Britani's living a double life. Now, Heather brought Britani on the show. Hello. Britani divulged on the show that she was having a physical relationship with Jared. We all know Britani likes to drink alcohol. Those two things are a no-no. Hence, Heather saying Britani's living a double life. We knew that in the season, and Angie brought that out, and that's what that whole argument was more so about between, at the bar mitzvah drama. It's just, own it and move on. And Mary said, why even tell us that? No one even asked you. So because of the recording drama, Britani wanted to justify her willingness to be truthful and show that she's truthful by divulging that she's that she's, doing it with Jared, so that they know she's being vulnerable and being truthful. Girl, that don't even make sense. Again, there's no need for you to divulge that. Just be truthful with recording these people, because she gave 4 different reasons and they went through all 4. And she said all of those are true. Girl, listen, the whole point is the time that she was recording, what she was recording, how she was fiddling with her phone, trying to make it seem like she's fiddling with her phone when she was recording them argue. The phone did not look out of the window, not one time. So that's lie number 1 about filming the scenery of Puerto Vallarta. And second, why would that recording be something she wants to send to her children to celebrate them passing a test? Another lie, number 2. Girl, bye. Get out of here with all that. And I don't blame them for running her down and running her off the sprinter like she was crying. And speaking of that, we went on to discuss again why Mary was mad at Angie. I mean, it was so self-explanatory. I don't even know why Andy brought that whole thing up, because I'm glad Angie didn't say anything to that, as Mary re-explained that she was angry. I mean, that was a moot point as far as I'm concerned as to why Andy brought that up, because they solved that then. I mean, I just don't see why that was an issue. So they discussed the dog bite, right? And actually, before we go there, the bar mitzvah drama, Meredith knew that Angie had called out, excuse me, Meredith kind of just put two and two together and kicked Angie and her husband out due to the fact of knowing how Angie called out Britani at the Audrey Hepburn party at Mary's, and hearing what Britani said. She didn't need to hear anything else from Angie or anything else from anybody. The mere fact that those things happened, and in such close proximity, and given the fact that Angie is who she is, Meredith did the right thing, because Angie was going around having problems with everybody at a bat mitzvah, starting stuff. Well, I wouldn't say starting stuff, but even coming into it, she's talking greasy about folks when they were outside waiting for the festivities to start at a bat mitzvah, even though it was at the home of Meredith. The whole point is it's supposed to be a religious and sacred event. How about you just, be classy for once at an event and not start anything? Just like she didn't want anything started at her and Sean's anniversary party at her home. Angie's a hypocrite, and Angie is for show. She's always trying to stay on the show by any means necessary. And I really hope that this is her last season. Hell, I'd rather see Britani again. Actually, just get two more people, a new friend and a new housewife, and throw Angie and Britani outside in the snow, child. Now we're going to Puerto Vallarta drama. The dog bite, when Bronwyn came in there all bit up. She said, the dog in question, the rabbit dog per se, the owner left it alone in the dog park to do something in the car or another, to get their camera, just, being very careless. And that dog interacted with her dogs and started, I'm not a dog owner before, but from what I know, you don't get in between dogs with your body parts when they're going at it. You reel in the dog, any of the dogs, you just chokehold them and, show them who's boss. Hopefully that doesn't sound too, demonstrative, but that's how you do it. You never, even if they're fighting over food, any type of adversarial anything with the dogs, you don't ever get your body, unless you are armed and got stuff on to where if they try and bite, it won't penetrate. But child, they bit her all the way. That dog bit her all the way up. She said she did not sue. Rather, they put the dog on a farm somewhere far, far away. Like, dang. Girl, I don't know. She said the dog had something wrong with it medically. Luckily, she wasn't affected. But girl, was you infant? Girl, Bronwyn, I don't know why you wouldn't sue. I hope there's no other reason why. But girl, that looked like she may need plastic surgery. I mean, I know she got a lot of money, but and then scars with her pretty skin. She wears couture. She's wearing things that are, she's wearing outfits and things that are girl, are you serious? I hope she healed like death becomes her, because girl, I don't even want to say let it happen to me, because I don't want it to happen to me. But child, suit of the law when it comes to me. Just saying. What else happened, child? Angie tells Lisa stay out of the convo with Meredith when they're trying, during Puerto Vallarta, which is that whole issue of bringing up Sean's circle jerking. I can see from Sean's reaction on part 2, as well as Angie's reaction in the moment in Puerto Vallarta, that Sean did not want his name mixed up with anything other than him being a married man to a woman, and no shenanigans with anyone questioning his sexuality. I get it. No one wants to be called something that they're not. And the way that Angie blew up just tells me that they had a conversation, and under no certain circumstance is his name to be mixed in with anything other than. All respect to everybody, but he is like, stop mixing me in, because that's not me. And it's embarrassing, for him. I can imagine to be called something that he's not. I mean, it is what it is. Don't nobody want to be called something that they're not. I don't. No matter what that not is. Shoot. Yeah, but Angie was trying to tell Lisa to stay out of the convo with Meredith, but Lisa's always interrupting, but she expects not to be interrupted. So self-absorbed, it's just ill. Bronwyn shown loyalty with Lisa when Lisa doesn't. That was also an issue. Bronwyn brought up a few different instances, but Lisa just is so self-absorbed that she only sees it through her lens and no one else's. And John has to help her make herself aware. He sees it. He's more open-minded to things than Lisa is. He tried to get her to see how her behavior at Todd and Bronwyn's anniversary weekend, but she, of course, she kind of backed down a little bit because she wanted to enjoy the luxury and lavish lifestyle, just like Bronwyn said. I believed it. But Lisa knows how to play the game when it will benefit her. But she loses it when she knows that she's in a lose-lose situation. So she comes out, she lashes out, she overtalks to try and make people think that, and then she cries to try and make people think that they should feel sorry for her, just like Brand did in part 1 and 2 of their season 15 reunion. I mean, when certain folks cry, people start feeling sorry for them. Oh, well, they're really upset. Well, damn, they didn't want causing the problems, and now you want to coddle them again. Lisa is a piece of work, I tell you. Mary said Britani is fake and a liar, too much of a wreck for her to be a friend to. I don't blame her. Mary said, I got enough going on. I don't need to bring in nobody who's definitely worse off than me. She said something to that effect. I mean, Britani said she likes Britani lying. That whole thing. Well, I like you, but I just wish you would like me too. Britani don't give a doggone about Mary. Britani doing anything to stay on that show, just like she tried to stay on the stage when they told her to get to get on before she gets spat on. What else happened, child? Meredith took a call from Jen Shaw. Oh my God. Whitney said, well, how is that worse than me talking with Monica? Well, one thing Meredith said greatly, that Meredith wasn't talking to Jen Shaw to gain dirt on people. That's what you were doing, Whitney. Whitney was like, no, I was just getting receipts. Girl, what's the damn difference? What's the difference, Whitney? Now, Whitney, don't get on the wrong side of history. You got some making up to do. Now, Heather tried to explain the burn text game, but Mary said it only works for specific people. Not everyone seeks out to hurt people. And and bottom line is, it was a horrible thing to do. A lot of us who review the shows like, nah, this ain't cute. This ain't gonna work. And it didn't work. I don't believe that instruction was necessary. Especially reading it out loud. I think it would have hit better had the person who it was being, whom the text was about, would read it to themselves And if they wanted to read, I don't even think that if they wanted to read out loud that they should have. I think that they should have read it to themselves and decided whether or not they want to accept, the apology, whatever came with it, and move on. Or just don't play the effing game at all. Do something else to gain trust with everybody. But Heather and her teeth always trying to be the center of attention, wants everyone to respect her because I believe she feels she's the smartest one. She's the smartest one in this cast. But Bronwyn met her match, and that's the main reason why she could not get along with Bronwyn. Why she couldn't see Bronwyn's apology when Bronwyn brought her to her home to invite her for her and Ty's anniversary weekend. All Heather wanted to do was start mess, keep mess going, and just keep it adversarial, trying to break Bronwyn down. But it didn't work because Bronwyn is better than that. Heather knew that. Well, at least she found out. Heather fucked around and found out. FAFO, Heather. Heather and her teeth. See, I'm not feeling Heather. That's what I'm talking about. What else, child? So while Whitney tries to burn it with Lisa, Bronwyn chimes in and Whitney yells out. Lisa just doesn't want to let it go. Whitney had to get up out of her seat, child. Go over to her, try and sit next to her. It was taking too long. Lisa's, not listening, wanting to talk over Whitney, but yet and still she wants people to listen to her. Lisa just wanted to keep the issue. She didn't trust Whitney, and she's sick and tired of going back and forth. Well, guess what? People are sick and tired of going back and forth with you, Lisa. Lisa's too self-absorbed. But luckily, she finally started to listen and let people know that she doesn't want to be vulnerable with people that she doesn't trust because it just breaks her down. And she doesn't want the merry-go-round. She doesn't want to, keep that going back and forth. She just wants people to stop doing things like that. But, she has to also stop, being so self-absorbed and expect people to do things that she wouldn't. That's how I see it with Lisa. So they finally burned it. Thank goodness. And then what's his name? Andy brought up that BBC apron. Heather said she felt powerful with the BBC apron. I bet she did. So at the end, Andy played a different game. Instead of bringing up the worst that you see about somebody, bring out the best that you see about somebody. Mary says Heather's powerful, smart, doesn't know who to love. She has so much love to give that she's misplacing it. And Mary was like, love me back, Heather. And Heather, was like, she was pleased with that. Lisa says Whitney is a great friend, mom, business owner, and she's, she hopes that her businesses flourish. That was so textbook, girl. Lisa, you still in your feelings. That's okay. But then Lisa says she loves Whitney. She really does. I bet you do. On that season 6. Meredith says Angie looks pretty in her dress and can be a good friend according to how Mary, relates with her, because Mary hard, child. And she's a great mom, and that was pretty much it. Angie says Meredith is a great mom. Everybody's a great mom. Okay, next. Angie says Meredith is a great mom, and she actually likes Meredith underneath everything. See, again, playing on the camera, just doing things to get people's goats. If it's true that she likes Meredith, that just proves my point. Because nobody would do the things that she's done and said the things that she said about Mary over these last few years if she liked Meredith. See, playing games. Next, we hear Bronwyn says Heather is witty, a good mom, great in conversation. She likes them going back and forth, and she wants to be friends. Heather, in return, she had this long diatribe about how difficult it is being a Mormon up there. But she says Bronwyn has been remarkable through her fire and a great addition to this group. And she loves the conversation and the sparring also. I bet you do, Heather. I bet your teeth like it even better because Bronwyn be getting in that craw. You can't take Bronwyn. That's it. I hope Bronwyn comes back, child. I really do. You can tell I like her, huh? I don't care what nobody say. I guess I just have an unpopular opinion, but it is what it is. Mm-hmm. Heather says she's a great addition to this group. I agree. Then Mary was supposed to get something from Meredith, but Mary insisted that Angie do it. Angie says that Mary is an incredible mom, open, compassionate, funny, and he loves how she loves on people. And that was so nice and great. And that was the end, y'all. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, season 5, reunion part 3. Brava, ladies, brava. Bye, Angie. Bye, Brittany. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll catch you next time. Bye. All day.